Yo, what is going on, everybody? Carnage back here again, and today I am back with a brand new review. That review being of the relatively newer Miles Morales from the comic book wave. Anyway, sorry about that little cut, had to sneeze, but this is the Ultimate Miles Morales, as you can see right there. And that officially completes off this whole wave. We got Banshee, Rom, Ultimate Miguel, or not Miguel, Miles, I mean. Ultimate Iron Man, and Adam Warlock, and Dakin, who I reviewed every other single one, so go check those out if you haven't already. But anyway, who cares about the box? Let's just get right in to the Miles Morales himself, and I'm just going to state this right now. This is a pretty good figure, I will say though. Let me just turn on my light real quick. I will say though, not a huge fan of the hips. The hips were the one thing I was not happy about. I mean, if you spread them out, they don't look bad, but I mean, when you put them straight up and down, then that's when they kind of don't look great at all. Like, I mean, they could have, try to, making them fit to the body, or at least expanding, the hip region out a little bit, but regardless, still pretty cool, and I'm pretty sure, someone could do a mod where they could, like, kind of, get it a little deeper in there, but, I'm not going to attempt it just because I will break it, and I am being fully honest about that. Starting off with the head, though, I love this head. Now, I truthfully prefer more of the open eyes, but, this is still very, very badass, and something I did want to try is a bit of a head swap. See, now, sadly, if you do have the Space Venom head, it is not going to fit in there, because if you look right there, the ball is a little too big for it, and, I'm trying as hard as I can, but that's not going to go in. So that kind of sucks, and, I mean, just look at that ball peg compared to this one. Like, I mean, this one's definitely way smaller. So sadly, you cannot do a head swap with that one, but you can do kind of like a bit of a different head swap with this one. And it looks good. It sits on there pretty well, but oh, okay, yeah, I was thinking that was going to happen. I was kind of surprised it actually stuck, if I'm honest. But regardless, still a very cool figure. Now, I'm going to show the accessories first before I get really into him. Here's the Miles Morales head, which he comes with this in the box, which this is a very good Miles head. I will say that. Whoops. Definitely a well-needed upgrade from, the one from the Space Venom wave. Really cool. And I do love how that looks. Like this, like they're doing really good with the head sculpts since they started doing more what's it called? Like the more photorealistic technology. And he does come with two whipping hands, which one of them came on the body. But, pretty good detailing on these. Really cool. He then comes with one fisted hand, and then one opened hand, which, comes on the figure. Which, I mean, I feel like they could have added, like, one more open hand. But, that's just me. And then, this, if you have any web effects, this could be a web holding hand. But, it's to hold the comic, which, these comics are just kind of meh. Like, I'm not against them, but, not something that, everyone was really wanting. So, I mean, I get why people don't want them. But, they're doing pretty good on them. Be even cooler if they were actually, like, mini comics that you could actually open. But anyway, moving on to the Miles Morales himself. He has genuinely... He's basically like the Maximum Spider-Man, best way I can describe it. But, for half the price. Like, fantastic, arm movement. Arms can go up that high. And, butterfly joints, which do very well. He does have an upper ab swivel, which I love that. That is amazing. He he has an ab cruncher that goes that far forward and that far back, and you can even, you know, like his head doesn't really move too much. Oh, no, wait, there we go. I was thinking it was on like one of those ball hinges, kind of like the Gamerverse Spider-Man. But no, he can look that far back, that far forward, which pretty amazing actually. Like, I was very skeptical about this Miles when I first saw it, just because, you know, the hips, but, you know, after hearing people say, maybe like one or two people said it was like a maximum series for like half the price, I was like, oh, okay. He has upper arm movement, double jointed elbows. He can touch his own chest, which always a great thing for a Marvel Legends figure when they can do that. You know, kicks out very far and kicks back pretty far as well. Upper thigh cut, which little stiff. Should have probably heated this up before I did this. Double jointed knees, which always phenomenal. Calf rotation and ankle pivot. And he does also have drop down hips, which, you know, makes it even better to get him in some of those more outrageous poses, like the pretty little ballerina he is. See? Ballerina. That was stupid, I'm sorry. Now, here are some comparisons for him. Here he is next to the Gamerverse Miles Morales, which was truthfully my best Miles Morales for the longest time, because I didn't really, you know, have Miles in my collection. Now, he is pretty tall compared to this one. Like, he's an extra, like, inch taller. But, you know, if you don't have Miles, this one definitely works pretty well. I will say he is a little on the bigger side, but, you know, pretty decent. But, you know, and then this was the only Miles in my collection for the longest time, and these two are actually the same height. This is the Stiltman Wave Miles Morales, which is still a pretty good figure, even, you know, by today's standards, because I think this was, yeah, I think this was like one of the original ones that was pinless, because if you look like there, no pins on the knees, and he's definitely one of the more unique Miles Morales, you know, designs that I've seen, especially the head sculpt. I really like the head sculpt on that one. And then this is actually the newest Miles that I bought before, you know, him. This is the Space Venom Wave Miles. And let me just say, this one's amazing. Like, truthfully, like, if this one had butterfly joints, this one would definitely be the best one, in my opinion. But, you know, this one's definitely amazing. And really happy I picked it up, actually. Like I said, you know, hips, not my favorite thing, but, you know, can't really do too much about that, just because, you know, Hasbro does whatever the hell they do. And then something that I kind of saw in a different review, he's actually using the same legs as Spider-Boy, or at least, you know, because if you look, like, they have the exact same seam, and, like, I think this part might be different, but they use the exact same upper hip part, which, you know, something I thought was kind of interesting. And this is still one of my favorite figures that's come out this year. Like, big fan of the Spider-Boy series. Love it so far. Currently behind on the last 2 issues, but still an amazing series. Bailey Briggs, definitely amazing character. But, you know, he's 10 years old, and Miles is like, what, 11, 12 in the Ultimate Universe? So I kind of wish they would have made him a little smaller, but, you know, this isn't a Spider-Boy review. Already did that one, so go check that out if you haven't already. And I just had to see this just because, you know, I think of this as, you know, this is the Ultimate Miles, but, you know, I think of the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man as the 616 Spider-Man, which this is my favorite Spider-Man. Like, love it so much. And let me just say, love the height difference between both of these guys. His knee is not doing what I really want it to do. There we go. But yeah, that's perfect height difference, because Peter Parker is like a full-grown adult when Miles is like, you know, this age, which, I mean, Peter is like a whole head taller than him, and that's just amazing. Yeah. Really amazing figure so far. Yeah, but let me just show you guys what he looks like with the rest of the wave. Here he is next to the Adam Warlock. Here he is next to big old Daddy Rom, which this Rom is still like the best one. As you can see, Rom is so tall. Rom is actually the tallest like single release Marvel Legend I think they've ever done. Just because, you know, Miles next to a regular 6-inch figure, Miles next to, you know, him. And Miles is like, gosh, I want to say maybe like at least 5 inches tall, maybe slightly above 5 inches. Like, pretty ridiculous how short he is. Here he is next to Banshee, and yes, Banshee's kind of in a weird position, just because I have him kind of displayed kind of weird on the shelf. And here he is next to Daken, still one of my favorite ones from the wave. And as you can see, scales very well with them both. And then here he is next to the only other Ultimate character from this wave, and another one of the ones I was the most excited for from this wave, the Ultimate Iron Man. And let me just say, really happy that they're starting to build out the Ultimate Universe figures quite a bit more, because, you know, we have Ultimate Miles, Ultimate Iron Man, and then I forgot to grab him, but also Ultimate Captain America. And let me just say, super happy about this. Really, really happy that we're starting to get more Ultimate figures. And I am very curious if we are going to be getting any more Ultimate figures within the next, you know, few waves, just because, you know, it's taken them, gosh, I don't even know how long to give us, you know, just 3 of them in the span of like, what, 2 years? Because, you know, these 2 came from the same wave, and then this Captain America came with the Puff Adder wave, which, still very happy I got this Cap. This is an amazing figure. But yeah, really hope you guys enjoyed this review. I do apologize if, you know, there was quite a few pauses in this. My allergies have been bothering me quite a bit. So hopefully it didn't affect your, you know, viewing time while watching my review. But if you guys don't have a Miles Morales, this is definitely a very good figure. And I mean, you know, the hips are definitely the thing that a lot of people have been complaining about, but it's not a bad figure. It's actually genuinely like a Maximum figure that's, you know, single release. Like, and so is the ROM, in my opinion. Like, ROM and Miles and, like, I gotta say, Ultimate Iron Man have been the standouts of this wave for me. Like, the ones I was mostly wanting from this wave were Daken and Ultimate Iron Man. But I mean, you know, ROM just kind of blew me away with how well he's articulated and, you know, everything else he's, you know, done. Pretty, like, I genuinely mean this, like, decent wave. Like, granted, I do wish Banshee wouldn't... Like, Banshee was definitely the weirdest one for this wave, along with ROM. But I mean, you know, definitely 2 characters I'm very, you know, happy we got. Definitely builds out the Marvel Universe quite a bit, especially with, like, the miscellaneous characters, because they're starting to dig kind of deep in the barrel for miscellaneous figures / redoing ones that we actually need for our collections. So that's pretty awesome. But anyway, I'm rambling on. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and I will be getting to those Strange Tale figures eventually. Just kind of gotta, you know, dig through and find the figures for comparisons. But those will be coming out as soon as I physically can do them. Don't know why I paused, but I did. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will catch you in the next video. Peace.